This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. It's your Weekly Blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game.
Are you ready to supercharge your auto repair business? This is Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix Auto Shop Coaching. The Weekly Blitz is where industry expertise and business innovation collide, revving your engines for the week ahead. Every episode has game-changing insights, up-to-the-minute industry updates, and practical tips to shift your business into high gear. We're talking about stuff you didn't even know you didn't know, folks. This episode is brought to you by Shop Marketing Pros, the experts in marketing for top-tier auto repair shops. If you're running a successful shop and want to take it to the next level, Shop Marketing Pros is without a doubt your best option. From websites and SEO to social media and digital ads, Shop Marketing Pros help shop owners just like you fill your bays, grow your revenue, and build the life you've been working for. If you're ready to take the guesswork out of your marketing, visit shopmarketingpros.com/Chris to get a free digital marketing inspection and start building the shop of your dreams today. Hey, good morning and welcome, everybody. This is episode number 206. I can't believe we're already in March, almost to April. Like this year, the first quarter is cooked. I just can't believe it. The year's gone by so fast already. So many great things going on. I did want to talk about three things today. Number one, spring break. Number two, doing what's right. And number three, I'm going to give you a quick update on Project Alpha. What we're seeing on the spring break thing, spring break for repair shop owners this year has been pretty tough. We're showing a slight dip in numbers. I think everybody just thought it was going to be what it's going to be. I'm not really sure what's driving this. I'm not sure why it's been such a struggle, but definitely pockets of the country have been having issues with spring break just from a standpoint of sales being down for that. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last week's podcast or not. It's been on my mind. We've been looking at some numbers on some other stuff too, and it seems like there are a lot of shop owners that do a either significant amount of fleet work or, fleet work's maybe 20-25% of their business. The fleets right now are really not doing much either. So if you're experiencing kind of a slowdown the last couple of weeks, number one, look at spring break. Did that have an impact? Number two, if you're heavy in fleets or 25% of your business is in fleets, you need to look at what are the fleets doing. Outside of that, if things are slow, then you just have to dig into a little bit deeper. Is our car count down, but average repair order up? What's our average estimate look like? There's several different things. One of the other reasons I wanted to mention spring break this week is just like the fair, just like Christmas, spring break comes around every year. You should have that on your marketing calendar, and you should know when those types of slowdowns are in your area. I'm not going to say I'm going to accept it. As a coach, I want to hold you accountable to it and be like, okay, what are we going to do different this time in order to make that week successful or whatever? A lot of times it's just a mentality. If your parts guy comes in and says, oh, everybody in town's slow, if you hear it from 6 other people, then you start building into that. For us, it hasn't really been a different. It's really interesting. In our town, we're in a mountain community. A lot of people come in to ski for spring break, but we've had terrible snow this year, so I think our numbers are way down for incoming visitors. But also, all of our people that live in town leave town for spring break and go to Mexico, somewhere where it's warm. It's kind of the end of the year or the end of winter, last hurrah, I guess, if you will. But to get back to it, you need to have some sort of a marketing calendar. People should have been worried about spring break last November. That's when the time was to do something about spring break. Just like as soon as spring break wraps up, if you have an issue that you feel, I'm using air quotes for those of you that aren't watching, in August or September for, say, the fair, something like that, you need to start working on that now. If Christmas is slow, you need to start working on that in a couple of months from now. What's your plan for that? How are you going to be successful for that? The other thing is, if you have a full staff during those times, maybe we need to offer them extra incentives to take vacation that week. If we know we're not going to have the car count we need, then, what other projects can we do Do we need to do like a little spring cleanup, some painting, some touch-up paint? Is now a good time to move all the equipment clean? Is now a good time to grind the floor and repaint it like you've always wanted to do? There are some things that you could be doing during this quote-unquote slow time, again, air quotes, to be prepared, because one thing we know is it's never always like this. Like, you might have a slow day or two, a slow hour or two, clean something, whatever, get ready for what comes next. To kind of wrap that little section up, what are the things that are happening in your area that you know that happens, and how are you going to change that, either from a marketing standpoint or a staffing standpoint or whatever, to make it successful or make it run smoother? Actually, I should have somebody from Shop Marketing Pros on so that we can talk about a marketing calendar. So if you're listening to this today, I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can't get somebody on, and we're going to make a dedicated show just for the marketing calendar, and we'll talk about that. So that's all I have to say about spring break. Next is doing what's right. Like, we've recently had a situation in the shop where, first of all, the customer had an aftermarket warranty from Car Shield and came in and did some work. Truck left, ran fine, stopped running a while later. Now it's back. It's been back in our shop since December, and we've been going back and forth with Car Shield about the repairs on this truck. So basically, finally, Car Shield has said, hey, that has nothing to do with us. We're not paying for it. Told the owner that they should sue us for something that we did. You know, we went back and looked through the process. The process and procedure was correct. We did exactly what we should have done the way we did it. And the owner's been pretty good about it. They haven't, been throwing a fit. They kind of understand where Car Shield's at this point, where they're just trying to wiggle out of the repair and move on. So I say all that to say this about doing what's right. Sometimes you have to take stuff on the chin in order to make your customer feel good and in order just to move the ball along. We have a small parking lot. I would love to have the parking spot where this pickup is back to use for regular customers. Customer and I have talked about it. We're going to fix the vehicle. They're going to pay a fraction of what the repair costs, and we're going to move on down the road. The reason we can do that is because we charge correctly in the beginning, and we have a process and procedure for cash flow, and we're able to do what's right. Most shop owners, I feel like, want to do what's right for their customer and will do what's right as long as they have the financial ability to do that. If you're out there and the customer needs to be taken care of, and you're like, in my mind, I know it's right, but I can't do it because we don't have the cash flow, we don't have the funds, we don't have this, then that's a problem. Like, if you know it needs to be done and you know what needs to be done right for the customer, then you have to take care of the customer. But if you've neglected your business and not done the right things to put your business in the, right frame of mind, right position financially to be able to do the right thing, then that's on you. And you got to figure out how to do better. It comes from margins. It comes from value. It comes from being a great shop. And I don't ever want you to sit back and be like, hey, I know this is the right thing to do, but I can't do it because the money's not there or whatever. We shouldn't let that be a deciding factor if we know what needs to be done and we know doing what's right is necessary and how to move that forward. Hope that made sense. Played a little bit differently in my mind, but for most of you, you want to do what's right. But in the instances where you can't, it's probably because the financials or there's some sort of a financial strain there. Okay. Just like I've always said, you have to put the oxygen mask on yourself first, have to make sure you're doing the right margins. If we take care of everybody and we have everything priced correctly, then you can help people out, whether it's like a situation like this, whether somebody comes in and they need the repairs and they can't, and you want to help them out. If you've done things right, be able to do that. And I've explained that to my staff. This is the way things are priced, and this is why we do what we do to enable us to help these people out. That brings me into Project Alpha, which is the shop that we purchased. I was able to write the final check for the payments yesterday. So now we completely own it free and clear. I was able to cash flow it. We bought it September 1st. And yesterday was March 19th, I think. We were able to pay off that in 7 months. If you want to go back and listen to previous episodes where I talk about it, feel free to do that. We're going to do some other episodes relating to this in the future. Shop's doing great. Number-wise, it's even kind of surpassing the budget that I set for it. We're already this month about 37% above what they did all March of last year. But I've invested heavily in advertising, marketing, getting the word out. We had a bunch of people come into the shop yesterday. I had to run in and check on a couple of things, and people were like, oh, I didn't know you did that. I didn't know you do this. I didn't know you did those things. We thought you only did tires, which we're a full service auto repair shop. And you have to make sure that the people in your area know what you do, because you'll always have somebody walk in and not know what you do. People that have lived in the community for 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, or people that come in and be like, oh, I never knew you were here. I never knew this. So shop's doing really good. We still have these weird positions where, we've got this number 2 service advisor that we can't quite nail down. We have added another position where we had a technician who hurt their back in the shop and had to go on light duty. We've been able to move him to the front, and we're going to create this hybrid role to where they help out at the front. Then if we have somebody that calls in sick or is on vacation in the back, we can move him back to the back so that we always have 4 people producing in the back. In a small shop, 4 bays, if you lose a person for a week or 2 weeks, then it just really, really kills cash flow, sales, productivity, everything else. So we're going to kind of call this position like a courtesy technician, I think, where they help at the front, they sell, they make tickets, and they help at the back. Somebody pulls up and says, hey, I need air in my tires. We're going to send that person back to do that instead of stopping the prediction from one of the other techs that's actively working on something to do that. And if you know me, if you've been listening, I'm all about cutting out the stops and the starts for the technicians in the back. So I think this is really, really going to be able to be a big position for us. If you remember from previous episodes where we started, this shop was doing anywhere from 230 to 250 average repair order. We're consistently 500 at this point. Last month we closed at like 493. I think this month we'll be over 500 for the first time, and then just keep adding to it. We're continuing to do bigger jobs, continue to get the word out in the community. If you have a smaller shop, think about being the most productive you can, and think about what happens when you have one person out for a week, especially summertime. If you roll from one person to the next, those are big pills to swallow as far as like sales and productivity go. So just 3 quick things I wanted to talk about. Hope you got something out of it. Have a great week, everybody. If you're on spring break, have a great spring break. And then really, really go back to what I was talking about earlier about the marketing calendar and everything like that. I'd like to give another shout out to our sponsor, Shop Marketing Pros. They're the only marketing company I recommend, and they handle all of the marketing for my own shop as well. If you're serious about growth, you need strategies that actually work. Better websites, higher Google rankings, and ads that bring real customers through your doors. I want you to visit shopmarketingpros.com/Chris and partner with a team that understands your business, because every great shop deserves marketing that's just as great. Thanks for tuning into the Weekly Blitz. Remember, it's time to rise, grind, and keep your mind positive. Until next time, this is Coach Chris Cotton signing off. Have a great day, everybody.
You've been listening to the Weekly Blitz with Coach Chris Cotton on the aftermarketradionetwork.com. Follow Chris on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Chris is all for advancing the aftermarket.